So here we go. Happy New Year to everyone. Let me say that before it gets too late and stale dated to be saying that. But let me jump in and just say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you all had an amazing festive season. And here we are, 2023. Oh my gosh, am I getting older? What? And that's never something I want to admit, even though I accept that, like fine wine, we age and we get wisdom and all of that wonderful thing. But one of the things that, I really want to talk about, and it's only 6 days into the new year, which means we're already down to 359 days left. And now that it's 2023, it's a new year. Now what for you guys? Now what for even me? Now what? And if you listen to my podcast, I had a podcast that I did in my third season, which we're in now, that said, "You've made your bed. Now what?" And what I explain in that podcast, and I encourage you to listen. And please, if you like what I do, please share and like and subscribe. It's the only way, artists like ourselves and creators like ourselves grow. So please do that if you do like what you're listening to, either on the podcast or on the stream. But with that said, what I did speak about is that I asked now what, because now what gets you into solutioning. It makes you pause, it makes you think, and it makes you start to really put a solution hat or a resolution hat onto your, and not meaning New Year's resolution, but it just puts you into that resolve mode. And so that's why I asked that question. Now what? We've been building up, certainly, in my pre New Year's talks for the whole, what I call the thankful season and my reflective season. I've been encouraging everybody to start thinking about what they want for themselves in their year, for the year coming, and to really choose themselves and really make a stand for yourself. And now we're here. The time has passed. We've gone through all the festivities. The thankful season is gone. And we're into this whole new season of opportunity, renewal. You hear new year, new you. I say new year equals opportunity. And which was also my last podcast, my first podcast of the year. So now what? What are if you are in pain, if you and I mean like emotional pain or a pain from the ups and downs of life. If you're taking the whiplash and the beat ups from your life, how can you change that? What is in there for you? Do we still continue to go through the motions, our daily motions and routines, without really getting the clarity we need and the commitment that we need to change our lives, to change our circumstance, to put us in a whole different frame of mind, to change what we, or even let go of the things that aren't serving us? How will we serve ourselves better in 2023? What does that look like for each and every one of you? And please jump on the chat, if you want to talk about it, or if you become a guest, if you want to really share, um, what things are you putting forward for yourselves in 2023? What will you pursue? Um, or are you contented? There's always that side where somebody comes on and says, "I'm very contented with my life." That's okay. But what do you want for yourselves in 2023? What does 2023 signify for you? And I know I'm throwing a whole bunch of questions out and all of that, but I really want us to pause and start to think about that for ourselves. And I come into the new year always with a word, and I was sharing that with someone, and they thought, well, just maybe there is another word you could use, but I can't think of another word because I did my vision board, by the way. If anybody does vision boards and all that, I did that lead before coming into 2023. And that vision board led me to my word for the new year and for 2023, and which will guide where I go and my goals and objectives. And for me, it's all about impact, positive impact. I I'd like to make more impact. I'd like to, extend my reach and really make more impact and a positive impact with others. And that even includes myself, right? Because I have to make an impact with me first before I can make an impact with others. So, what does that mean for you? What does 2023 really mean for you? And this is like the first new year in a couple of weeks, or maybe, yeah, but the 20, I think it's the 21st. I believe it's the 21st is the Chinese New Year. So there'll be another new year in which we bring in, according to that culture and tradition, we bring in a new animal, which is the rabbit. So, have we started to really think about all of this and what 2023 could hold for us? And what do we want? How did 2022 go for you? Are some of you, just upset about how 2022 has gone? We're heading into more inflationary times. Every time I see something, the price has gone up. Uh, so we're heading into more inflationary times, and we're we know a recession is right around the corner. We just got news about Amazon and them releasing 18,000 jobs. So, what are your thoughts, your concerns? What are you thinking? What is some of the stuff that will come down the pipe? How will it impact you potentially? How's it impacting you now? How is it impacting you now? I can tell you right now, going to the store and picking up groceries is nerve wracking right now because you pick up five things and it's $100, and I'm always coming out grateful that I could pay the bill. I could pay, but it's just stunning. And I think there's a lot of where we are suffering in silence. And I think yet we share so much because we're all connected. So what are your thoughts around 2023? As I said, jump on, let me know. um, Write it in the chat across the different platforms I'm on. Let me know, jump on, and let me know what you think for 2023. Are you excited? Are you hopeful? Are you Are they things you're trying to accomplish for yourself? Uh, do you have the right network? Do you have the right cheerleaders? Oh my goodness, there's so much we can talk about tonight as we go into get more fully into 2023. Is it starting off with momentum, or do you find you're going to have to start building things and putting things in place for to get you where you need to go? So jump on and share. I'll keep talking and thing. As I said, I'm excited for 2023. I think um, there's going to be saying hi, Tommy. How are you? Nice to see you on. How was your holidays, and what do you have on your to do and achievement list for 2023? What do you think about going into 2023 now? Nice to really see you. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Oh, you have a lot. Oh, wow. Tell me. Share. So yeah, it's yeah, I'm happy to see you too. It's always nice to see, the ones that are always supporting me jumping on. So thank you so much for that. But let me know what do you have planned for yourself for 2023? What aspirations do you have? And how is everything going with you in terms of work? And are you still with the same role, or you've changed, or what's going on with you? That's just one of my viewers joined. So it's nice to see them. Really made my 2023 already. To see you so early in the year, it's fantastic. But for all the others that are jumping on and listening, join and let me know what you have in store for yourself. Because it's also good to really put that intention out. I want to also cover intentions and understand it's not just wishing, it's not just, you've got to have really clear intentions, and then you've got to do the doing to drive some of those intentions into reality. So, okay. So coaching on nice. Yeah, I know you and your dancing. You're still doing your dancing. That's fantastic. And you have a cat. Oh, what kind of cat do you have? That's new. It's sleeping. The cats are always sleeping. So yeah, so you're doing coaching and bows and arrows. So have you taken up archery? So these are the types of things I want to, just see what are you thinking of 2023? We put so much effort into getting to a new year. And then, everybody collapses after all the effort, the travel, the connection with people that you probably haven't seen too often during the year, or ones that you just come together as family and friends. You certainly connect with the greetings and the cards, and so let me, what is 2023 now that it's over and the year is actually here? And you go, and I don't know about you guys, but the days have been just going, going, going. We're already at the 6th of January. Before we know it, the month will be over and we'll be into February. And and then soon after that, the for where I am, the winter months are going to go, and we're going to be into spring and March break and all these sort of things. So the first quarter is going to go really quickly. So this is the time now, early on, to start thinking about, yeah, what am I going to do? And the way for me, the way for 2023, that's really in my thing, is all about this concept of anti-waste, right? Don't waste time. Don't waste energy in the wrong way. Put the energy in the positive, in a very positive way for yourself. So I talk about having my own anti-waste program for myself, for my aspirations, for my dreams. It's all about anti-waste. I don't want to waste a moment. My numbers are coming down. My numbers are coming down. And based on the average lifespan we have and all that, when I say my numbers are coming down, I need to maximize my time. I need to maximize my efforts, but you put effort where it makes sense to put effort, not just do just for the doing, but do because it's going somewhere. And yes, time and having time to rest. Absolutely, Tommy. That's absolutely true. So I call it my own anti-waste program. The same way we do recycling and all that. Jen has her anti-waste program. So I'm always looking at opportunities and things to say, is it a good use of my time? And that is how I'm looking at 2023. Impact, positively impact others and myself, and do anti-waste, meaning where my efforts, my time, my even money, all that is wisely used, and optimize my skills in those areas. So that's how I'm looking at 2023 for myself. What about you guys? And take, yes, rest, take breaks, um, give yourself grace to regenerate, do what you need to regenerate the energy. um, I like the fun aspect of when you say, Tommy, that you want to do archery. it's such an amazing sport. One of my kids took archery. The only thing I didn't like about archery is when you went to see them do their archery, you're up in the bushes, and I'm telling you, mosquitoes like you wouldn't believe. Like you wouldn't believe. That was the only thing I didn't like about archery out, the outdoor archery. They have it indoors as well, but she took it outdoors. And the mosquito, I've never seen mosquitoes that big. Like they were like bats. That even the teacher had the device that actually repels them. But a lot of mosquitoes. But enjoy, because I see that as a fun activity, and so we all have to build in fun. And the way we need to look at life is, a lot of different baskets, and making sure we open space for the things that matter, like fun, rest, taking breaks, regenerate, but at the same time, you know, use your time effectively where you're still getting things done, but do it in a smarter way, and be smart about it and strategic about it. Uh, so we have to think about all these things about as we go forward. Some people are holding down a full-time job and doing a part-time gig to get where they want to go, and that's wonderful because they're not blowing up their lives just going after thing. They're balancing those things, and at some point the aim is that whatever you're doing on the side elevates to the point you can let go then the full time and move on. And I know people that have gone to that point where they just let go. They're able to move away from their full time jobs and going to what their heart, they truly wish to do. So we've got to be strategic of how we approach these things, but be moving in the way and focusing on the things that really bring you contentment, that you real where the effort is not as heavy, because if you're doing what you're intending to do, it really is less effort. I know it sounds weird, and people, I know sometimes I say that and people like roll going, come on, Jen, you're kidding me. It's but it really is. If it's something you love, it does not feel um like it's draining you. It really doesn't feel like that. Like I'm going to be on here streaming for a while, and I'm not worried about that, because I enjoy doing this. I enjoy coming on here and talking and connecting with the Tommies and the Andrews, and all the people that I get to meet and talk to on this platform and in this way. So it does not feel like work, and it does not drain me. It actually fuels me. So that's what, you need to be doing something that you enjoy, and that, feeds your spirit as opposed to deflate your spirit. So, what did you think, um, so your passions are b-ball, which I take it to be basketball, dancing, and teaching. And those are awesome passions. So you need to be doing those more and incorporating that in anything that you do. And then look to see how you can make a living from doing those things that you love, right? So you need to start looking at that and seeing. So some of the strategies that you have been doing, is it getting you closer to or far away from that passion, Tommy? So in 2022, in your mind, did you get closer to that passion, or did you get further away? Did you start to move along where that's becoming a pretty significant part of your life? I'm interested in that. And I know you love the dancing, and you've been, practicing the dancing. You had the YouTube channel and all of that. So I'm hoping for you that you're seeing that grow. And you just okay. Well, I'm happy. What I love about that is you said you got over it. So now you're into, green pastures type of thing with your life. So you're on the upside of life as opposed to awesome. I love that. Is it from a health perspective? If you want to share, only if you want to share, or just circumstances. And you're not alone. You're not alone. That's why I love this platform, because we get to hear we are not alone. I know when we're going through our stuff, when we're going through the downtimes, it feels like we are alone. But I'm telling you, you're not alone. A lot of people are going through. And one of the things that I find is when I speak transparently and frankly about things that are happening or occurring or have experienced or have heard about, there's always somebody raising their hand and saying, I get it. I've been there too. um I know about it. The other day I was talking about grief, and of course we all know being hit by grief, and all of that. No, don't give up. I've never encouraged you to give up, Tommy. Yeah, you've been hurt. I know, we've all been hurt. um but what you when you go through these things, there's a lesson that you need to come out with. So what you must make sure, Tommy, that you learn the lesson so you don't get spun back into the experience, and may come at you in a different way, but it may very well be the same experience. So we've got to learn the lesson of the downtime. We really do, because that's what we have to apply in the now. We don't spend time on the past except to learn the lessons and apply them in the now, leading to a future for ourselves. So I hear you when you say, I've been hurt, um, and you're doing better now, but learn the lesson. What lesson were you supposed to learn? And apply that lesson today. Start applying it into different situations and in your life today, so you don't have to repeat it, but also that it's taking you forward. So let's also remember those types of things, because it's become so easy for us to go into the woe of bad situations. um but we really have to be grateful and be in the gratitude of the situation to drive out the lesson. And in gratitude, it becomes easier to see the lesson, because it's all about you know what we think. Like the other day, a situation happened to me where somebody came into my life, thought they were really thing, and it's not a romantic. Someone came in to my life, not from a romantic perspective, but I thought they were such a good fit and everything, and then they disappeared. And when I looked at that, and I thought, okay, what did I miss? What did I do? How could how could I've seen it before? Um, I think in the end, I landed that it probably is a blessing, and not to overthink it, not to whine on it or anything like that. That my spirits and my guardians and everything probably protected me from something down the road. And that's kind of how we have to look at sometimes the hits that we get, because it felt like it was pulling, it felt like it would pull me back or make me lose momentum and stuff like that. But then I thought, you kind of sit back and you meditate or you reflect on it, and then you end up saying thank you. I may not understand right now, but thank you, because I probably dodged a bullet. So we've got to find a way to look at our situations from a point of gratitude and from a point of learning, and not from the emotional side of the feeling. Your feelings are valid. Very, your feelings are valid. But now, how do you put it in perspective from the overall holistic aspect of life? So again, okay, good. So Tommy's telling me that he was in a state of self-sabotage. Oh my gosh, lift your hands. Who who hasn't done that? Oh my gosh. I lift both hands. For those who can't, I lift both hands. We've all been through that. Thankfully, I do it less now, but that's because I'm growing and growing myself and up leveling and changing my mindset and all of that. But Tommy, been there. We've all, everybody has done self sabotage. What I love about this is you recognized it. So you now recognize that you're, because when we aren't growing, we actually don't recognize that's what we're doing. We just then end up saying, well, we didn't get this, or this didn't work out. That time we self-sabotaged ourselves. But when you see it and you recognize it, now you can manage it. And notice the word, you can manage it. So you know what is the when usually when there's a limiting belief that you have, and you once you recognize it, then you can work through that limiting belief, and through affirmations and things like that you can start to address those sort of things. And exactly, to know what you want. And definitely, so here's the thing, I want to make sure people understand this. Let me just take some water, one sec. Okay, so thank you for that, guys. But here's what I want um, people to understand from the universal laws and the universe. We don't deserve anything. If you're going through life thinking you deserve something, I am here to tell you, you do not deserve anything. The universe does not believe you deserve anything. What the universe says is for you to put your intentions forward for what you want. Believe, so not the self-sabotage, not the limiting beliefs, believe it's possible, and do the doing to make it so. Once you start doing the doing and have the commitment for the intention and the effort involved in it, and you show that to the universe, it will bless you with all the things that you want around that. But the minute that you say, I want to be a DJ, but you don't go and you don't keep up on music, you don't practice, you don't go and get gig, like it's just words, and you're not actually doing, then none of it happens. And then we sit back and say we have no luck. Well, we have all the luck we've ever won. When we were born, we were given everything. The greatest day was the day you were born. And that's why I always tell people, celebrate your birthdays. And yes, you came in with a purpose, but you didn't retain that. They took, we have to figure that. Life is about figuring out why you were born, because you were born for a reason. So why were you born? That's our life journeys, to figure that out and act on that, right? And the more actions you take in going towards that and achieving the things that you're setting your intentions to, the more the universe, you get blessed with those things. But you cannot go into it saying, I want to be a DJ, and you're not on top of music. You don't take the actions of whatever it is to be a great DJ is. You're not going forward with the creative side of the craft or anything like that. So then it doesn't come to fruition, and we get upset. So no, that's not how life works. Um, so yes, no, Tommy, you're correct. You know what you want, and it requires effort. Absolutely, that's the doing. And to not forget the goal. Exactly. Set goals. They could be small, they can be large, they can be, minuscule, step by step. But guess what? Step by step, by the time you look around, you've done a ton of steps. Like if you go up, like in Quebec City, there's a 639, I believe it's 639 steps to a cathedral. And at first, when people say the numbers, you're like, oh my God, that's so many steps. But if you forget not being like that, like you forget that negative viewpoint, and you just go one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time, you look back and you are amazed at how many steps you go up, and then eventually you're at the top and you're going, oh, I've reached the top and that wasn't so bad. I didn't think I could do it. Next thing you're doing it. That's a beauty. So you can take small little steps or you can take big steps. Doesn't matter. You're going to move forward. And the whole point is moving forward, right? That's the whole point. At least you're moving forward. You're not, remember the anti-waste program, you're not wasting time. You're not, when you could be doing something, lying on the couch, vegetating or something and not really taking steps forward. So, sometimes we take on too much. So how do we narrow it down to the things that really matter, and discard the things that really don't really bring you where you wish to go. I'm going to be in that cycle this week, is looking, because lots of opportunities are coming, but which are the right opportunities? So things like that. So even I will be doing that because, again, I lean on my anti-waste agenda for myself. So what are the things that you, um as I'm talking, what's going through your, I'm hoping things are triggering for you, thoughts and approaches and all those things are triggering for you as I talk, to kind of say, yeah, I need to do this, or oh, I didn't think of that. What is your game plan? So what are some of those goals? So Tommy, did you set a goal, some goals for yourself for 2023, and not only just for the year? Like, no, it isn't even just, yeah, you'll set goals for the year. Like my word was impact, as I said, and my intent is to make positive impact, whether I'm streaming, whether I'm podcasting, whether I'm doing a show, always be that influence in people's lives, to be positive and encouraging, and make impact and do better. One of the other things with making impact is me doing better by saying to those listening to me, if you like what you're hearing, and you are enjoying the sessions or the podcast or anything, please share, please subscribe, please download, please help, you know bring me further and expand my reach. So that I have to get better at saying. I don't I really, I'm not always good at that. So these are things that I have to do, and some of my goals are around those. So you can have goals for the overall year, but then what are your goals in the first 3 months of 2023? So if I were to ask, in the first 3 months of 2023, what goals do you have? And are you starting already to focus on those and to go after them? And, one of the things that messages I always say is about defragmenting yourself. Don't do it. Like, recognize you're one holistic person and being, and don't think of yourself in this defragmented way between your career and your personal and other things you do. It's still one person. To build your lifestyle, build your life around that holistic individual. Jen is Jen. Jen is Jen, whether she's at work. Jen is Jen, whether she's at home. Jen is Jen, whether she's with friends. Be consistently holistic. Don't be a sweetheart of a person in your personal life, and you go to work and you're like a real meanie. That's not being congruent. That's not being, thing. Which one are you? Which is the real you? Right? That's how you start to get defragmented. So I'm all for bringing us together as a fulsome individual that you can look and be happy with. Don't let things in life pull you into that fragmented state. Make sure you're integral, you're intentional, you are consistent, you are, and just, and transparent is one, I believe. Just be that person that you are consistently across all areas of your life, right? And just really focus on that for what you want and how you utilize that consistency towards your goals and your aspirations and your, so these are things that we have to think about as we're going through and start to think about, what. So I'm going back to the quarter. If I were to say January, February, March, by March, what do you want to accomplish? And depending on what you want to accomplish by March, you work backwards to say, what can I accomplish by the end of January, by the end of February, and then, reaching the ultimate objective by the end of March. So these are the ways we need to look and think. And then all of those, so if you have it month by month, quarter by quarter, all of it's still building up to the overall year's aspiration that you're trying to get to. So hopefully that makes sense. For all those that are listening to me, please, jump on, be a guest. I invite you to be a guest if you have some thoughts. And whether you're just, doing your thing and listening, I thank you as well for that, for supporting me and being there. So thank you very much. And for all of those, yeah, I haven't even stopped to talk about who I am. For all of those that may not know me, I'm Jen Drakes, and I'm the creator of Divine Tastical Living, and and just being the artist. And Divine Tastical Living is really about guiding and mentorship on being the artisan of your own life. Don't be guided and living your life by other people's aspirations for you. Make sure they are your own aspirations and be that artisan. So the way I always describe this is, if you were had an empty canvas, what would you put on that canvas to show you and be, and to be authentically you? How would you? So think of yourself that way, and choosing you. How do you start to craft the you that you are, that is defined by you, not by others, right? And what pieces did you get from others that you don't want to keep? Put that aside. You don't want to keep that. So start to craft your own you. I did that for parenting. My mother made some pretty big shoes that I really wasn't going to try and fill in that way. I'm not a traditional parent. So I had to define parenting for myself. And then I had to land on things that I want to keep and don't want to keep. One of the things I didn't want to keep was children. Culturally, children should be seen and not heard. No, I gave my children a voice. I wanted to raise my children for them to have a voice and be encouraged to speak their minds, and then teach them how to do it without hurting people's feelings and stuff, but do it with compassion and love, leading that. But at the same time, they could have a voice, and I could listen to them and appreciate their thoughts and their perspectives. And I've learned and grown as a result of taking that on. But it was definitely a move away from my own upbringing and all of that. So sometimes we just got to create that canvas of ourselves that we can look at and really contented that we're living our lives by, or unapologetically by, our own expressions and intents, and reflection of who we are. And as I go through, I'm still up leveling, and I'm still okay. Have a good night, Tommy. Thanks for joining in and sharing, and to sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And hugs, and happy new year again. Okay, I'll be on in 2 weeks. So not next Saturday, but the following Saturday, if you want to jump on again as well. Okay? Kisses. Kisses to you. Exactly. Right back at you, Tony. I feel the love. Thank you. And the love returns. So, yeah. So, start to think about all of these um things on how you start to set the intention and paint. So in introducing that, that's my platform. And and I have the master coach board designation. So I'm board designated to coach, and that also means I'm held to very high ethical standards in what I do, which is not a problem because I'm that way naturally. But yes, but it still helps, clients and everybody know that I'm being held to quality standards and can guarantee results and all of that. So I have a podcast called Arrays of Living. I encourage you. It's on all the platforms, Libsyn. It's on Apple. It's on Google. It's on Amazon. It's on iHeartRadio. So all the major platforms you can go and listen, and I stream bi-weekly for anywhere 3 hours or more. I stream as I'm doing now, and I have a book, a published book on Amazon, Aladdin Carpets, and I'm in the midst of writing my next book, and and developing that. So there is so there, this is who you're listening to. And I just to give you some aspects to what I do. And I also co-host a show with Coach Katie, is who I co-host the show with, and it's called Get Awesome. And that you see that on Facebook. There's a Facebook group called Get Awesome. It's a public group, so you can certainly join, and you will get hear me as well on that show talking about different things. Now, Coach Katie is a ULA coach, which has the 7 F's of ULA. So she taught, and a lot of the philosophies of ULA align very well with my own philosophy, which is also based off of Ikigai and NLP and all these different disciplines. So we come together and we talk about different topics for about an hour, 45, 30 minutes to 45 minutes. We talk about different things to inspire you. And we do that twice a month, at the beginning, the first Wednesday of each month, and the last Wednesday of the month. We focus on a topic, and we go through that. So this is who you're talking to. And my website is jennndrakes.com, with Jen being 2 N's. So JENNDRAKES.com. So that's just to give you a bit of who you're listening to. And I write articles as well. So on the website, you'll see everything that I do. The articles are there, and the as well as the publications and the podcasts and the shows and all of that. So there you go. And if you're on the website and you want to be a guest on our show, there's a link when you go to the podcast, that there'll be something will pop up where you can go through a process to suggest topics for the shows, and you can and we'll review it, and you can be a guest on the show. And I also do speaking as well. So stages and all that. So if you need anyone to, talk and motivate about, self improvement and life strategy, and even business acceleration, because I do believe we're all one, and those aspects are inherently within us and does not need to be separated and fragmented. So if you need anything like that, you can also reach out, and I'm always happy to and there to help and to guide and all of that. So for 2023, I'm wishing everyone all the best, and just really want people to step out of their own shadow, like step into the light and step out of their own shadows and really shine and figure out how they can be the magnificent individuals that they already are. And some might be having a hard time seeing that. And how can I help for you to see just the magnificence you hold within? And that you are probably more capable than you can even imagine and that you've even given yourself credit for. And I look for that in individuals, and I don't want you to just settle. There's no reason for us to just settle. And I'm telling you that because there was a time in my life when I was settling. Life had hit me hard, and I just went into my little cocoon and was vulnerable, and then was, moving to the beat of someone else's dream, not my own. And, and thankfully I was able to self correct and make a decision for myself and choose me for the first time in my life. Actually, choose me, consciously, intentionally choose me. And here I am now. And wow, what can you say, right? So I know it's possible, and I know transformation is right there if you choose. You just have to make a decision. We are always one decision away from magnificence. We really are always one decision away from magnificence. So, tell me what you think about 2023, right? Just writing something. So yeah. So 2023 is here. Wow. It is here. And we need to make it spectacular. We need to make it energetic. We need to make it fun. We need to trust ourselves, believe in ourselves. We need to aim for our magnificence. We need to tap it. Excuse me, I got emotional. Tap into our divinity and really connect and our heart space and ask, why am I here? What should I be aiming to accomplish? What I what can I do? What more can I do? If you're not if you're discontented, if you're feeling unfulfilled, if efforts that you're doing aren't taking you where you would feel they should go, or where you intend for them to go, then how do you step back and do, and self correct? These are all the things we should be thinking about. Is there, you know, a role in your work that you would love to strive for, think you should qualify for, but you're a little gun shy about taking that step? What will it take to give you that, to get the confidence to do that, and to choose for yourself, and not just, don't take any action, don't try simply because you think somebody, of your own limiting, your limited beliefs. How do you step forward in that way? Um, when I first started out, I sought help because um, I had a lot of fear. I had a lot of fear. I really did, and and I stepped out looking for, how can I abate this fear? How can I address this fear? And I did. I the spirits and everything, put all the people in my path to answer that and to eradicate that from my mind. And this is how I'm able to be sitting here. And right now I'm talking, and I'm not necessarily um, needing feedback, right? Or to be able to sit here and talk and speak is really about a testament about embracing my gifts, which are speaking and writing and influencing, embracing those gifts and being okay to sit here and speak. It ain't easy. I know, because when I started, it ain't easy, but I do it. And I'm okay doing it because I've come to accept my gifts. So if you're out there and you're not accepting of your gift and you're not working your gift and you're not working on your gift and you're not working on your aspirations, some might have a desire to write a book, and then they push themselves back from doing that because they go, I don't have something to write about, or I don't know what to write about, or how do we step into the zone of capability of knowing that we've got it and that we just have to put our focus on it. Notice what I said, we just have to put our focus on it. How do we step into that and do that? How do we say no fear? So fear for me stands for face everything and rise now. But I had to, that was a journey. That was a journey even to get to that meaning for fear. And I always remember when Mr. B, who was the person that first said that, and I was like, wow, can I use, I love that. That is how I'm always going to think of fear. So every time, now I don't get fear moments. Like I don't get debilitating fear moments. I just accept it's something that flows through you just before you do something amazing. Notice what I said, just before you do something amazing, fear comes and you just recognize it, acknowledge it, and let it pass. I go face everything and rise. Thank you very much. And I move on, right? And it's just like as a writer, when you're pitching your writing or you're putting it out there for the first time, again you get, and then some people might say no, and that for me is next opportunity. So when I hear no, I shrug and I go, oh well, wasn't meant to be, next opportunity, and I keep going. So these are the things, these are the resiliency of life that we have to see and recognize and start to move forward on. So if you're someone that is holding back even in any slight way, it's probably because of you're not feeling worthy or that you have the capability. There's something. And it's also a limiting belief and decision you've made not to go forward. So if you have an aspiration to write a book, write a book. The only way you're going to get better at it is to write the book. It made the first draft, your first draft is always not optimal. Every time I write, I go back and I read and I improve on it and I add more thoughts and, add more substance and all of that. So it's a process. So of course your first draft is going to be rough. That's a given, right? I know some publishers, they will not even work with they will not take a first draft simply because it's so rough, right? So they'll ask, is this a first draft? They don't want to see if it's a first draft. So, and that's why. So don't beat yourself up if you write something you don't like it. Go back, step away from it, and then go back and craft it again and improve it and then read it again and all of that. So, these are all processes, not that you can't. It's how much you want it, or, it's a different thing on what's the intention behind wanting to write a book. That's the important thing. If you have the wrong intention, then don't do it. But if your intentions are the right intention, then do it. And don't let anybody stop you from doing it. In fact, make sure the people surrounding you are supporting you and cheerleading you to to achieve it, right? To fulfill that. And the more you do, the more things you achieve on your journey, the more confidence you get, the more resilient you get, the more passionate you get, the more perseverance you get, and all of that. So it's a process. So for 2023, I'm going to go back to my original question. 2023 is here. Now what? Now what? If you are not in a good circumstance in your life and you're in pain and you're hurting and you're unhappy and you're not satisfied, whatever words I can put out there to describe it, then I need you to pause and say to yourself, now what? Because that puts you into solution and resolving mode. It puts you into thinking about what can I do to change my circumstance, right? So 2023 is here. Now what? Now what? Right? What do you want? And I'm gonna start to break our life down in what do you want? How do you want to how do you want to feel fulfilled? What will it take for you to feel more fulfillment in your life than you are now? Is it that you need better health? You need to get to a better state of health to feel that. Whether that's losing weight, whether it's eating properly, whether it's being pain free, physical pain free. What do you need in your life right now that it's really hard for you to follow through on, but if you did, you would be in a better place? What is that? Because what I don't want you to do is put it off, ignore it, pretend it isn't there. And next thing it turns into a greater health problem, that you cannot ignore. And that we don't want to get to that point. We really don't. So, let's talk through it. And when I say us, I'm having a you conversation. I'm always having you conversation. So when I say things like that, I want you to do that with yourself. I want you to pause and say, what do I need? How am I feeling right now? Like, am I in a place of contentment? And then if I'm not in a place of contentment, what do I need to do to get there? Right? What do I need to do to get there? Do I have to work on something? Do I have to let something go? Do I have to bring something in? Do I have all that I need to get there? Like, do I need more resources and tools? Do I need guidance and mentorship from someone like me, you know, another coach? Like, what is it that you need to change that situation for you and to put you into that better state? Right? It all starts, as I said before, we're always one decision away from magnificence. And all we can do is look at our options, reflect, look, come to truth, right? Come to a point of truth for yourself. Look at the options and the choices, make a decision, and then act. Like it's all those sort of things. And one of the things that we need to understand is, in order to kind of bring things to us and manifest to us, we've got to try to we got to be moving to a point of congruency. We got to get to understand where our mindsets are at, and work on our mindsets, and be able to get to connect with the thoughts that go through our heads. Thousands and thousands of thoughts go through our heads each day. When we get into a certain lifestyle, we're actually able to become very more aware of some of those thoughts, and we're able to, you know, really act as a dispatcher to dispatch and kick out the negative thoughts, um, feed in the positive thoughts, land on certain thoughts that really resonate very strongly, and we're able to manage that whole, thinking piece of ourselves, because we're really ultimately trying to be in a congruent state where everything aligns. You're not fragmented and broken out into parts and inconsistent things. On one side you're thinking this but you're saying this, and on another side you're saying this but you're thinking this, and and then we're acting one way, and we put up this beautiful facade, and of everything's right and perfect in our lives when it isn't. Like, we've got to be more aligned and congruent in our whole our whole persona, in our flow, in our vibrations of ourselves, in our auras. Like we really want this all to be to come together. I had someone say to me, your aura is so colorful, and I was like, yay. You know, we want that. We want to connect. We want to be inclusive. We need to recognize we're all one fulsome, connected set of, we're connected. Everything's connected. So, you know, I'm now, really working to filter my thoughts, and I'm getting better at it, but I'm not it's an ongoing journey. It's a continual journey of improvement and progress. It really is a journey. Journey is the best way to describe life. It is a journey. What you don't want is to taint the journey by not recognizing what is actually going on, and some of the root aspects of us, which is what I call our shites, right? Stuff harbored inside that eventually sabotages. So those are our shites, and we get handed them, and we've got to clean them up. As we got to go through, and along the journey we go through cleaning it up, and it's an ongoing thing. So we can't just push it aside and pretend it's not there. I'm all good. This is going so wonderful, and put up these facades that aren't there, that just ends up sabotaging us, really, as Tommy said, and puts us into self-sabotage and blows up our life. Sometimes it's so bad it blows up our lives. And we don't want that, right? I don't want that for myself. I certainly don't want it for you either. So what are, some of those, what are some of those things, right? What are some of those things that you can put in to for 2023? And moving forward on the stream, I'm not going to be talking about, prepping for the year. I'm doing this one now because it's the very first one of the year, and I want you to be, to set them things in motion properly. If you need to lose weight, then there's all sorts of programs on YouTube that you can do that takes 10 minutes. They got them for every lifestyle. If you don't have a lot of time, you don't need to be doing something for a lot of time. They have intensity training and all that you can do in 10 minutes. Some are 5 minutes, some are 20 minutes, some are hours, some are 30 minutes. Like there's options for every thing. If you don't want to do high pace or high impact, there's low impact, there's stretching, there's yoga, there's all sorts of things. There's programs for, for proper eating. Nutritionists are that field of study is growing, and there's more and more out that you can reach out to, and all of that. Even I'm thinking, what about personal trainer and that sort of thing, like, just to keep building muscle, so as I get older I'm not, depleting my body and its strength and its ability to support my stature and my skeletal stature. These are some of the things of aging. So really trying to be proactive about that now. So there's all sorts of things that we can do to, to work on us and our lives and that journey called life, right? Another thing to consider is space. How do you hold space for the things you want? um I was on a thing in a session, and one of the things that the person was single, they want to have, that love interest and stuff. Well, how are you holding space for it? Are you doing the things you need to do to make that happen, to manifest it, and all of that? I mean, we can all, we go through these things all the time, but are we facing it? Are we dealing with it? Or are we just sitting there going, I want to find a partner, but and you're not doing anything about it? Well, just saying it isn't going to make it happen. There's things you gotta be doing to be able to help attract that and to put yourself out. It means sometimes putting yourself out there, and all of that sort of stuff. So we have to start thinking about what are we saying we want and need, and what are we how are we aligning with what we're saying we want and need with what we're doing. Those two things have to come together, and the middle piece is the intention. So are you doing it for the right intention? And the right intention is to fulfill you, not because you just want somebody on your arm, but because you want something healthy, and you want a healthy relationship. You don't just want a partner to have a partner. You want a partner that has certain characteristics and all that. Do you know that? Or are you just saying, I want a partner because you want something on your arm, and, or someone on your arm to just say, they're my, but they're not really serving you properly, right? So it's putting together your wants and your needs with the proper intention, and then the actions to make it happen. So anyone that's, on the call that wants to jump on and share and tell me what they're going after for 2023 and how they feel about 2023, because as I said earlier, we 2023 is starting out to be the doozy of a year, in which we have we're hitting inflation. There's a recession said to be coming. All sorts of things are already kind of coming together for 2023. There's talk of job losses in massive numbers, as companies start to get ready for this recession that's supposed to happen. There's some things out there that can have people worried, concerned. Because I don't do fair, I'm not thing I'm looking forward to 2023. But not everybody is going to have that mindset, depending on what's going on with them, right? With the rising, with the interest rates going up, people, some of the people that bought the homes have gone very expensive, and some of those that think can't afford the homes now, with the even with the increases going on in the interest rate. So, how are you, like, where's your mindset at right now for 2023? How did are you worried? Are you scared, fearful? What practices are you putting in your life to help abate some of those sentiments and feelings? And as I said, your feelings are valid, but they don't always create a realistic view of life. Yeah, if you're emotionally driven, or you lean on the emotional aspects to circumstances. So it's good to talk it out. It's good to reflect, to see. Some people feel better talking about it. So I'm okay if you're thinking, if this thing is helping you to think through that and say, I need to get a game plan together to be ahead, or to get ahead of what could come my way this year. Great. I'm happy, because my intent, as I said, even if I impact one life in a very positive way, I am so contented. And I know it feeds back into the larger aspect of the universe, because of that oneness, divine oneness, that is one of the universal laws. So, I'm here to try to lend support, and let you know you're not alone. A lot of people are hurting. In fact, in one of the things they said, that for the food bank, they're seeing the largest increase in middle class, because we have to question whether there's a middle class anymore, in middle class using the food bank. So that shows you that those types of stats and data points are what I lean on, because it starts to show you what's going on in the world in a very realistic way. So it means other people are seeing the inflationary hit feeling the inflationary hit, um, are, are surviving as well. And that's okay. But you're not alone. And that's the thing. You are not alone. Other people are going through it. And that data point shows you that. So that's why I call it out, because many people going through this think, oh, for some reason you get in your bubble and you think you're the only one, but you're not. And, Lord forbid, if you've got kids, I raised 4 kids. So I know what it is to look at 4 mouths that you've got to feed, and you've got to figure it out and go through, whatever downs is happening in your life, whatever roadblocks are there. You got to get through them and get along, still, feed your family and the mouths, and address your responsibilities. So I get all of that, but my biggest message right now is, no, you're not alone. People are hurting right now with things they were talking about. Um, yeah, I heard $35 chicken, like, and I even respond, go, who in the world? What in the world, when you're paying $35 for a chicken? That would typically what you'd be paying for a turkey, let alone a chicken. So, and somebody talked about a renting like a rent to own for meat and stuff, and you had to chuckle. Of course, they were being, um, they were just turning that situation into a bit of a more um, comedy, but there was some, even within comedy, there's some reality in it. So they had a realistic aspect to that made you kind of lean your head and go, my goodness, what we're in for a doozy. And as I said, I go to the grocery store, pick up 5 things, that's $100. And in the grocery bill, and you think, what did I buy? You look at your thing, you go, what in the world did I pick up? Um, and I always leave grateful that I could pay the bill, because I then think of people that may not be able to afford it. And and it's disturbing when you think of that, right? When you think of that, we've got, gas at its highest that we've ever seen. We've got groceries becoming higher and higher. The quality is going lower and lower of what you're getting and paying for. Um, so I'm here to tell you, I get it. I get it. I check my sales listings. We've got the app that tells us what's on sale and where. And but sometimes then you're not going to drive everywhere to get these sales, because then the gas. So you never really, just like a never ending cycle. I get it. But, and the prices are going up every time I go. And like, wow, the prices have truly gone up. So this is what we're looking thing. And there's still, and even in the midst of all of that, there's still good news stories for 2023. There's opportunity. All of this has opportunity, just in a different way. So how can we see those opportunities? How can we set ourselves up to see that despite some of the things going on, we can focus in and try to see the opportunities, and look at the ones we can seize and the ones we won't for whatever reason. So, do you have the right mindset for 2023? And are you thinking of 2023 as the turning from an old year to a new year as a point of renewal and opportunity, as a point of renewal and opportunity? I moved and went out of focus. Sorry about that. But, are you seeing it as that aspect of a year where the transition means that you're able to renew, recommit? It's a new, set intentions for a new you, a up leveled you, a wiser you, a more solid, confident you, a more powerful, empowered you. Have you thought about all of those things for 2023? And if you haven't, then let me be the one to trigger you to start thinking about, um, that in a practical way of your circumstance, and looking at ways that you can improve your circumstance to be even more grounded and solid in what is to come in the next 12 months, and make sure you're on the winning side of, any churn or anything like that that occurs. So I ask again, New Year is here. Now what? Right? Where do we go from here? What do we look at? What do we need to look at? What do we need to do to leverage um, 2023 in a big way for ourselves? That's really the things that we need to think about and get a hold on. Sorry about that. You wouldn't believe that talking really takes um, really you really have to hydrate when you talk. So I'm always amazed at how dehydrated I get. Um, so I just took a thing. I just want to take another. I've got water on one side. I've got tea on another side. Mm. So thank you for that, to do that. So yeah. So what are some of what's going through, your thoughts? I want to also thank everybody jumping on, listening to me. I'm Jen Drakes. I'm a author. I'm an author, published author. I'm a life strategist and business accelerator. And my my core are young adults. I'm always working with young adults, and I work with all age groups, but the core is young adults that I look in. That was like Tommy I was talking to earlier, who had jumped on, young adult trying to really go through his own journey of life, and dealing with the ups and downs and all of that. So um, that's who you're listening to. And I'm the creator of Divine Tactical Living, which is like a movement. I've got the institute now where we do self-sabotaging and limiting belief courses. We do self-hypnosis courses, which teaches you how to put yourself into really high-powered focus state to get things done. Because when hypnotherapy puts you into a really, really high level of focus, and that way you can get a lot of stuff done. So it's and you can also it helps with modifying, helping with behaviors you want to improve on or correct, like smoking cessation and stuff like that. So these are all the things. So just out there continuing to put things in place. In February, we'll be launching a program called Rise, Elevating Your Why, and it's really uh, a membership course that, like, really across a period of time, we're teaching you so many things. I'm doing it called I've collaborated with Kelly Sturgakis, who is a business coach. And together we are launching the program to really work through not just business things, but also personal development and growth. So it's something to look forward to. That, and at the next session, I'll announce where you can go to sign up, and all of that for it. But really, yeah, amazing stuff. So it's coming down the pipe for 2023. More amazing stuff, more courses, more programs, more everything to help others grow and see their worth. Not just grow, but really come to learn and understand just how much worth you have. Like you were born perfect. You were literally born perfect, and you are magnificent. And I don't want anybody out there thinking that they're less than they are. So It's all Divine Tactical Living. It's all about painting, and it's all about, forming becoming the artisan of your life, and really taking hold of your life in a really powerful, empowering way to push forward, and to just deal with your shites and let them go, right? And I call them shites. They're stuff harbored inside that eventually sabotages. And I talk about it in my book, Aladdin Carpets, which is on Amazon. And tell you what shites are. And God knows I had them. And even as I continue to spiral, they still kick in. Some of them still, come back in a different way, not the same way. And now I'm able to recognize when it's coming from that and self correct. And that's what we all need to have, the skill set to self correct. First, we need to recognize. Even just getting to that point is such a growth moment, such a transformation moment. And then to be able to self correct, and to be able to manage your mind and your thoughts and your words. And three of my most powerful words that certainly changed my life when I took them on and took on this whole thing for myself. And my words are lead with love. And even in my store, um, we have stuff with the words lead with love, because I think those three words are so powerful. And it sets our intention very differently when you wake up each day and you have the intention to lead with love. I no longer get upset about things that happen around me or to me, because I'm always leading with love. When I encounter people, like one day I was in the store over the holidays, and there was someone serving me, and they weren't smiling. And those three words, lead with love. And I said to them, "Why are you not smiling? What's going on?" And they stopped and they go, "Oh, I'm just," they, and then they after that, they're it was like night and day, right? So we have the potential. Everything starts with us. And if every one of us were to step into that kind of light and commitment to others and ourselves, imagine if we all did that, how very different we would make the world. How very different we will make the world. And, one of my Divine Tactical Living guidance posts is that um, DEI is not a program, it's a human right. And DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, is not a program, it's a human right. And that human right starts with us. It really does. If we have the mindset of lead with love, and our intentions are that every day, we would not be looking at diversity the way, it is now. We would be equitable. We would be looking and seeking equitable solutions, and we would be inclusive of everyone. So it starts from our heart. It really does. And it starts with our intention to be in, accept people for who they are, and to lead with love. And it's such a, all I can tell you, it changed my life. I'm not, I'll get it, I'll get emotional about it, because it really, and the reason I do is because I wish everybody really had that intention. And I believe people are good. It's just life circumstances have hit them left, right, center. And then they take on this persona, or how they were influenced in their environment changes their persona. And they think, I have to be this way, right? In order to X, Y, and Z, survive, put it in whatever words you want. And I really believe if we step back for a minute and think about it, we are good. You know what I mean? We are good. People are good. And and we choose, it's a decision. It really is a decision. And that we decide and commit to be the best individual we can be. And yes, there'll always be, because of our human experience, there'll always be some days or some parts of a day where you're challenged, right? Something's coming at you and you're challenged. But if you have the intention, it's so much easier, as I said, to self correct. So I find leveraging that lead with love as my intention of the day means it's very hard pressed for people to get me angry, or situations to get me angry. I don't get angry before, and I pause and I think about things and my own intentions before I act, depending on the circumstances and stuff like that. And yes, every now and then there's a day where you're going to react emotionally without thinking. Then you're going to, you're going to go, oh man, that was not my best. But if we try to be, our best every day, is a step in the right direction, because change in this world, making this world better, world peace, all these things start with us as individuals. It really does. And when you look at the law, where they, everything, that all our thoughts that we put out, can you imagine all our thoughts and sentiments and things we put out really get collected in the universe and determines the frequency of the universe and determines what manifests in the universe. When you see that reach and that ability to do that, if you believe that, it becomes very hard for you to put out negativity and put out bad thoughts and put out anger and put out fear, because that's the vibe you will end up, if the masses do that, that's the vibe we'll be living in. And so if you care about the vibe and how it's being manifested in this world, if we are all aiming for love, which is why love is considered the highest, accolade, the highest thing to aspire to. If we're all putting out love, we could not have war, we could not have, you know contention, we couldn't have inequitable laws, but it all starts with each of us. All starts with each of us. So I look to work on me, continuing to work on me, and overflow all those things that I, you know, build up in me positively, to overflow to you guys, and everybody that I am speaking to or hears me speak. I look to overflow it in a way that is so special and authentic and filled with love. And we all have to try it. In my mind, should be trying to do that. And I get it. Life hits us sometimes hard. I get all of that, but I never want a situation to change the core of who I am. And that's always one of my thoughts when I get hit with something. I will not give it the satisfaction, or people the satisfaction, of changing the core of who I am. And I think if you have that, then situations can hit you, but they wash off. And yes, sometimes in the thing of it, you can have an emotion, but you recognize it's an emotion and you put it aside and recognize it's not your reality, and create your reality. And I think people need to do that to really see the power of that and the miracles that happen moving forward in life with those sorts of viewpoints. And give ourselves grace. I always say, give ourselves grace when we falter, because that's the human experience, right? Sometimes it happens, but give ourselves grace and get back up and back on track and self correct. So that's the message on this second hour, is to, understand that life is life, and life delivers, you know, your ups and downs. It will always do that. But it's how you handle it and what you do with it and how you perceive it and how you approach it and how you get through it and the learnings you take from it, um, and what you move forward in the now. Because we have a past, a present, and a future. The past is all the experiences we encountered. What were the lessons of those experiences? We apply that in the now, live in the now, and aim for the future. So, if we can make life simple or we can make it really, really hard. And I think we have to get skills and resources and tools and knowledge and awareness at, to allow us to make it really, really simple, and don't complicate it. Forget the drama fest. Forget the you know, forget the oh woe me, right? um, Looking for sympathy and validation and all of that, and just really put forward in a way to simplify things. And I think once you are able to do that, and journaling, like we talk about journaling and gratitude and all of that, like two of my words that are also in my book Aladdin Carpets is, and someone had given me more than one actually, people had given me feedback that they loved the what I call the G squared, or G to the power of 2 concept, which is, gratitude and grace, or grace and gratitude, the 2 G's. Because gratitude sets your intention appropriately to focus on what you have, to focus on all the bounty that's already in your life, all of the abundance that's already there, and moves you away from focusing on what you don't have. Because if you dwell in what you don't have, how can you ever be contented? You will never, ever reach contentment if all you do is dwell on what you don't have. So we all need to strive to focus on gratitude, because gratitude puts you in the right state of mind, even for manifesting and for moving forward in a really positive way. So there's the gratitude. And then when you falter, because, you know, you're living a human experience, and this body that we're in has certain limitations and certain flaws, and it operates in a certain way, and we've got to know how to function and cope within the way our body operates. And when we get to understand that dynamic and the neuroscience and all of that around our bodies, we're able to be more empowered to understand that sometimes we falter, and when we falter, give ourselves grace for that and then move on. Don't beat ourselves up. Just give ourselves grace. Yay, human. Yay, human experience. And just move on. So, you know, and when you think of it, you have to kind of shake your head and just like, wow. Like, we are pretty amazing beings. We are pretty darn amazing. And how can you not appreciate your body? How can you not appreciate this packaging, right? This packaging. Um, and just appreciate it and give it the grace and the gratitude that it needs. And then strive for the future. So in 2023, I'm hoping a lot of you are looking at getting better at doing that, are aiming to work on you, and are aiming for, self-correction wherever you need it, whatever you feel, needs to be addressed Don't put it off. Address it, right? And make 2023 one of your best years just by changing your mindset potentially, just by changing your commitment level, just by changing your actions and your doing, just by changing and admitting your aspirations and being transparent and honest with yourself as to where you really are in life and where where you want versus like where you are and versus where you want to be. How big is that gap? Being honest about that gap, if there is a gap. And if there isn't, kudos to you. But if there is a gap, what is that gap? All right. And getting beyond the materialistic and physical aspects of what is supposedly your contentment, which, for example, money is not your contentment, because we already know there's tons of people with loads and loads of money that are, that were not contented. So we know contentment isn't driven by your purse strings and money gives you a certain level of peace of mind to be able to afford the things that others may not be able to afford, or afford certain luxuries. But beyond that, we know there's tons of people with money that have no fulfillment and no contentment. So we know that's not it. So how do you get that? How do you seriously just get to real contentment in life? All right. And what do we have to do to get to that point? And that's a question for all of us. It's a question for all of us. I can tell you I'm leagues more contented than I was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, way more contented. Right? But there's still a more. There's still a more journey. Right? There's still more. I'm actionably working on my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health. I'm actively working on that every day. Every day. Today alone, I was in a session on those things on a Saturday. Right? So what are you doing to build all of that for yourself? What will it take? What do you need? Right? What affirmations, when you look in the mirror, what are you saying to yourself? What are you seeing? Are you even looking at yourself in the mirror? Right? So it's interesting, as we start a new year, we get to reflect on the remaining, and as I said, we're on day 6 of the new year, so we got 359 left after today. And we started the new year. I didn't calculate the minutes. I should have. Didn't calculate the minutes, but we started with 525, 600 minutes. When on midnight, January 1st, we had 525, 600 minutes given back to us. And when you think that throughout the year, some people will not get those, right? Because some people will pass away and some souls will be taken from us. So how can you maximize those 525, 600 minutes? And we've got 6 days of that less, right? How 359 days we have left as of tomorrow. How can you maximize those 359 days? When you break each day down into hours, and we know we have 24 hours in a day, how much of that will you maximize in that time, including your rest and your breaks and your sleep, right? Your rest. How many hours of sleep do you need? Make sure you get that. How many hours do you work? Make sure you get that. How many hours are left? This is how I look at time. So, how can you maximize the days that you have? Start to think about all of that and start to apply it in your life so that you know you are maximizing and still delivering all the things you need to cope, like rest. If you need 8 hours, sleep 8 hours. But remember, you've got other hours there to play with. So, how can you do all of that? And what do you need to do? And what, sometimes we need to make a few sacrifices, but what are those and what are you willing to do? But how are you maximizing what you've been given? Right. So, these are all the things that we, in starting a new year that we need to think about and that we get to recommit to, we get to refresh on. And we can refresh on it every month if we want. We can refresh on it every week. But a new year is that pivotal milestone point that we absolutely should be doing it. If we didn't do it every week, if we didn't do it every day, if we didn't do it every month, then on that new year is the time to recommit to that, to reflect on it and to get it going. So these are all amazing, amazing things to think about, right? So as we get into the last hour of the stream, I want to really talk about a bit about what the year of 2023 could look like, right? What are the predictions or things that they're saying how this year is going to be all about? Because I think it's interesting, right? And I know it has to do with horoscope, and I know it. I'm not trying to get into thing. And just a very a good sense, or some playful. Like, we have fun. We'll have fun with it, and why ever not? We're supposed to be having fun. Fun is one of the 7 F's of Hula as well. Even Ikigai talks about fun. So it's all good. We just need to talk what 2023 looks like. So I'm gonna have fun with it. Let's have some fun with it, and go and we'll go through it for the last hour of the stream. How fun! How much is that's so cool. And we know that 2023, there's a lot to look forward to. Like, we know that a lot of things are going to occur in 2023. And I'm not trying to predict. I'm saying that to me, it's very obvious. We've already seen rumblings of it, right? So it's going to be interesting to see. So let's have some fun, horoscope wise. Yay! um, and with any new year, we get to set new goals and we get to reflect on the old ones. As far as I'm concerned, it should have been done. My reflection period is September to December. And my goal setting for the coming year is in that time frame as well. I do my vision board in that time frame. I use the vision board then to get to my new word for going into the new year. So there's a whole approach I take to this that I've been doing for many, many, many years, and has worked extremely well to set goals and everything. And we already know, and I said it, the new year brings us, it's really, new year is an opportunity. That's my divine tastical guidance, 00 for any new year is a chance, is really about opportunity. And I talked about that in my podcast, my first podcast of the year. It uploaded on Monday, last Monday. So, that is what it is. We get to set things back on track. Um, so let's see what thing I'm on. I'm going to use a site, AstroTalk, and I'm going to see what they say, and let's have fun with this. Yay. Okay. So, they say all of us have goals to look forward to when it comes to life. And that's what I've been pushing. I certainly hope I've had people say, I don't set goals. But if you don't set goals, what are you working towards? That's what I don't understand. And I haven't had anybody be able to tell me that if they don't set goals, then what is their year look like? So, as I said, I haven't had anybody be able to answer that question. And I'm talking people who've told me they don't set goals. So sometimes I think they set goals, but they don't see it that way. So I'm not sure, but I find that interesting concept. And we always say goals could be as simple, or they can be really big, bodacious goals, right? I like big, bodacious goals. I like if we're gonna if we're going to have a life goal, our life intention, our life aspiration, and our life dream, whatever it is. I'm saying dream big, dream bodacious, like just put it out there. And no, with no thought that it can't happen. Just put it out there, right? And I wasn't there many years ago. I am now. I can do it, and I know what my goal. And I don't worry about if it's too big or anything like that. Because we have to have goals to look forward to. That's how we look forward to things. Whether it's taking a trip. My goal for 20, this isn't mine. I'm just saying, somebody can have my goal for 2023 is to go to take a trip to New Zealand. Fantastic. Now, what are the steps that you need to put into place to make that happen? Right? You have to take time off, maybe. You've got to book a flight. You've got to um, save money to pay for the trip, or there's things, practical logistics you have to take to do that. How long will you be going for? It could be as simple as starting your own business, or you know, uh, like these are just things. So people, yeah, I'm never sure. As I said, there's some people tell me they don't set goals. I don't know. I think they do in their head, but they may not write them down. But because I don't understand, and I'm being really, really transparent, that if somebody truly do not set goals, what or how are they moving day to day, month to month through the year? They're just really then they're not living, they're existing, really. They're just routine basis. But anyway, I don't want to put a thing on it and just don't understand that. Um Now sometimes our constraints around goals are what's within us and in our mind, how we feel to put in limiting and self-sabotaging behavior, and around our surroundings. Do we have the people around us? Are we in an environment that supports those goals? Um, so you want to go to New Zealand um, in 2023, but you work for a company that won't allow its workers to take a month off. So, because if I'm going all the way to New Zealand, I'm definitely not doing it for 2 weeks. I'd probably do it for, try to go all that way for a month at least, or 2 months or something, to make the trip really, really worthwhile and really, really get to know the place. But now you go and you tell your workplace you're doing this and you want to go for a month or 6 weeks or something, and they have all sorts of policies that um, make it difficult for you to do that. That could be one of the constraints when I say your surroundings. Some surroundings might make your goals, attaining your goals, a bit of a challenge. Because and thing, let's face it, not everything in life um pans out, right? So like goes to plan. You sometimes have to adjust and be flexible to adjust those plans. Um, so you have to think about those sort of things. It's welcome to life school, which is what I say. My Divan Tasker Living Institute is a life school, and it really is. So welcome to a life school. You couldn't be talking to me and having a you conversation, because it'll always be around life, and that's why I'm a life strategist. So see how all that comes together. Yay! I'm having fun with this. Um, so we have to look and see what are some of the challenges with some of our goals, and then look to how we're going to address those challenges. What does it mean for us? What decisions have to be taken? What actions have to be taken around all that? Um, so let's see what Astro tells us life will look like. What 23 holds for us. Um, so let me look at this, and so they're saying that so let's talk about, they do it by horoscope. Well, this is going to be interesting. So let's see the summary for if you're Aries. Let's have fun with this indeed, because they do it by they do it by each horoscope. So if you're Aries, here we go. They say sometimes Aries natives get highly motivated and strong opinionated, which might get them into problems easily. Oh, someone's waiting. Let's see. Stacy. Hello, Stacy. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Now I can hear you. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm having fun here. So thank you for joining me. It's always wonderful to have a guest. I don't know if you're speaking. I'm not hearing you, Stacy. Is it your are you having trouble with Stacy? Yeah, I'm not hearing you, Stacy. So hopefully you're hearing me. Stacy? We have Stacy on, but we're having trouble hearing her. Hopefully she can hear me still. Stacey, if you want, you can jump off and try coming back in, see if that helps. Okay. Yeah, we're not hearing Stacy. Yeah, she jumped off. So Hopefully when she jumps back, if she jumps back on, then we'll hear her. I'm not sure why we couldn't hear her. That's the first time that's happened, but there's always a first time for something. Stacey, sorry that you, yeah, that was disappointing. Sorry that you, we couldn't hear you. You seem to be having trouble with your mic. Okay, so continuing, let's look at what 2023 holds for us by some of these to understand the year ahead. So they say change in times bring their own challenges to our lives despite all the preparations we have. So, right? So the new year brings new hope. They call 2023 trying times, and it may be just what the doctor ordered. Interesting. So based on the 2023 zodiac elements in your signs, and these predictions were prepared in India. This is from India. It's awesome. There's a mixture of good times and bad times, but that's I think that's every year. Let's see, by your, so it'll tell you again. This one does it by zodiac signs. So let's do that then. So for Aries, they said in 2023. So if you're an Aries, have fun with this. The movements of Saturn and Jupiter may bring some major changes, which would be a mixed bag. Some of them can be helpful, and some of them might need your attention and caution. And Saturn might influence your connection with foreign countries, your expenditures, and financial gains, your social connection, and also the inclination towards spirituality. So that is the summary for, there's, of course, you can read more. They have a lot more, of course, for Aries. So they say in 2023 you would be under a strong influence of both Saturn and Rahu, affecting your intelligence and your subconscious mind. Hence, it is suggested that you should keep your thoughts under control. So you Aries folks out there, keep your thoughts under control. Be very attentive to your thinking and decision making, because the influence of Rahu may drag you on the wrong side. To get rid of this effect, note down your plans or get advice from some elder or expert, so that the positive energy of Jupiter could help you to gain success both on the personal and professional front. Health could be one of your primary focuses from the second quarter. Doing some light exercise and meditation on a regular basis could help you to overcome the strong influence of Saturn upon your health. So that's a little bit about Aries. So that's what Aries has to think about, according to these horoscope predictions that were done from India. So if you're Taurus, there's a lot written on Taurus. Wow. So if you're a Taurus, here's your 2023. It has been predicted that Saturn, Rahu, and Jupiter will all play an important role in careers this year. This year, positive attitude, patience, perseverance, and research will be the keywords that will come into play. In the first quarter of this year, it is suggested that you maintain patience and avoid being aggressive so that your plans can be carried out. So, Taurus, no aggression. None of that bull thing, because the sign of the bull is the Taurus. So, none of that. Um, for getting Saturn's blessing to get expected business success, it will require you to have persistence as well as avoid negative comments and thoughts. So, no negativity. The sun at the beginning of the year can give some delay in getting the bosses and seniors' favor. Those of you who want to start a career as a player at the international level will also be able to achieve the expected results. So it's very sports oriented. The year 2023 may also be advantageous in terms of promotion and the new job. So it's all about career. Taurus seems to be all about career and sports related, interesting. Let me see when I go to more what else they have to say, just like I did for Aries, and then we'll go to the next one. They said be vigilant about losses. There's a possibility that business owners could incur unexpected losses or financial expenses from time to time. Those of you in family businesses are advised to make each decision with patience, and the month of October is not a good time to make any changes in the new business plan. There will be a delay due to the position of Sun to get the favor of the boss and senior, but from the end of March, things should begin to improve. This year is the year that you might acquire new skills and education that could satisfy your desire to study abroad and find success in your career. So there you go. That is the Taurus. Now, Gemini. Okay, let's talk Gemini. A unique year is awaiting you in 2023. So all those listening who are Geminis, this is a year where you would be more action oriented and chase your dreams one after another, just like an endless sky. Wow, that's interesting. Is that will they achieve the dreams, or they'll have too many chasing that they won't? That could be. Well, they're not saying. So after each month, you would set up a goal and follow the same relentlessly, which may be something that you lacked in the past and we're working towards it. Finally, you may reach a point where you may implement everything that you learned in the past. So progress, it sounds like progress for Gemini. Saturn will return patience, attention to detail, and a disciplined approach both personally and professionally this year. Jupiter will provide you the chance to increase your network of friends as well as your professional and international connections. You're going to put commitment, career, and health first this year. With Jupiter and Mercury's blessings, many dreams are expected to be realized in the second half. The health of this year is expected to be mediocre. This year, your health will be significantly impacted by the way the planets are moving and how they influence your eye days. In order to maintain your fitness and health, it is essential that you surround yourself with positive people and attempt to nurture good attitudes. You are advised to stay away from heavy and greasy foods to regulate your anger and to improve your health because Mars movement might cause unneeded aggression. So there you go. That is Gemini. So sounds like dreams will be realized, but you'll be working hard for it. Awesome. Which is not a bad thing. Hey, that's not a bad thing. Okay, you Cancer folks, let's listen to Cancer. So this year, your health, finance, relationship with your in-laws, and the happiness you get from your job are going to undergo some changes and also require priority. A Saturn transit can ask you to meditate and warn you about overthinking because it is going to affect your health and ability to make decisions. Stress and negative influence in the surrounding can adversely affect the quality and result of your work. So you need to pay attention to your work management as well as to your subconscious thoughts, which can become distorted if you face hurdles and delays to achieve your goals. So going a little bit deeper, this year, your health, finance, relationship with your in laws, and the happiness you get from your job are going to undergo some changes and also require priority. Wow, okay. Stress and negative influence in the surrounding can adversely affect the quality and result of your work. So you need to pay attention to your work management. So, okay, they already said that, so I'm not going to read that again. During the first quarter of this year, Jupiter will be in transit with Rahu, which can cause confusion, workload, and delays requiring proper analysis, verification, and revision before executing. In terms of relationships, avoid any third party suggestions. You may succeed if you put in the effort and keep a positive attitude. Sleeping comfort can be affected by Mars in the beginning. Mars, however, can provide you with direct access to good clients and international connections, which will help you. Those of you in the spiritual and religious fields can get a good scope in a foreign country and also on the digital platform. There might be an inclination from some of you to learn yoga, martial arts, and meditation. And Rahu and Ketu may bring changes in your career and also in your place of residence. Some of you might get the expected result when you buy your flat and home. So interesting ones there's a lot of guidance for patients. I'm noticing that. And by the way, guys, I'm just like, I randomly just picked a site. I didn't have this pre-planned at all. So don't think I did. I don't know if I'm on the best site, but I just randomly literally picked a site to read this. I just thought it would be interesting to hear. And it's fun, to do this sometimes. So I'm on to Leo. So from Cancer, we move to Leo. So all you Leos out there, this year, Saturn advises you to avoid digging into your past mistakes and start working on your projects and work. Your health can suffer from unnecessary negative thoughts. As indicated by the movement of Mars and Rahu, you should avoid aggression. By practicing regular meditation, you will be able to protect yourself from the damaging effects of Mars, Rahu, and Saturn, which can make getting a good night's sleep difficult as well as affect your health. Okay, let's go a little deeper. This year, Saturn's movement could cause some delays in getting the favor at work. There might be a delay in getting support from senior authorities. And also at home, the support of elders might be delayed. Likewise, due to the impact of Saturn, there may also be some hindrances to receiving support from luck, or there can be unplanned travel related to work and business. It is advised that you avoid becoming aggressive or demanding in your job and business due to Saturn and Rahu movement. So it seems like the combination, according to these predictors, that Saturn and Rahu together creates some kind of aggression. So they're asking people to really show patience. Okay, that was Leo. So let's go to Virgo. Again, you see, there's a lot of that thread of it coming through. So for all you Virgos, you will need patience and attention on a personal and professional front, as well as your health in the first and last quarter of this year. In the second quarter, you can spend time with family and friends. Well, that's around summertime. So that's usually when you spend time with family and friends. Saturn and Rahu both require more effort and a positive approach on both a personal and professional level. Jupiter will bring happiness in the second quarter through promotion, marriage, and childbirth. That's very specific. In the last quarter, Venus and Ketu advise you to pay attention to your relationships and financial matters. You shouldn't be hasty in taking a financial decision from new or unknown people during this year, as Saturn and Rahu indicate. Expert advice can give you the right direction. As indicated by the movements of Mars and Mercury, you will be able to earn money from traveling this year. Oh, there. Wow, that's a plus if you can earn money from traveling. There you go. Let's see, going deeper, you should avoid arguments and relationship proposals during the month of May. July and August may bring positive results in terms of love marriages, as well as positive response to a relationship proposal. During the third quarter, Ketu and Mars can cause some stress in the family business, so try to remain patient and have a positive attitude when answering questions. So, the patience and everything keeps ringing through. Okay, let's move to Libra. Let's see if it continues through. We don't have much. We're almost there. So let's look at, I think we're at Libra. So let's look and see what Libra has to say. I'm not sure if this site's the best site, but anyway, as I said, I randomly picked it. Totally impromptu. So we'll just have fun with it. The year 2023 for the easygoing Libra seems to be lucky. Oh, good. Listen to that, Librans. And positive most of the time. Oh, I like the most of the time. 2020 for Libra foresees a positive and happy love life and relationship at the beginning of this year. Venus's transition might help you in your social circle, suggests Libra stars for 2023. Libra this year may experience strong passion with heightened emotions, which will probably have a deep impact on their relationship and their partner due to the fluctuations in the position of Mars. Again, requires to be patient with the situation. So there's that call again. Every one of them had the call for patience. As the year progresses, Libra predicts that Jupiter's transition might help you sort the problems in the relationship. So Libra is very heavily about relationships. Wow. May might be a testing month for you as Libra. Foresees that you are likely to lose patience and could get aggressive. So again, the patience and aggressive part. The latter half may contain blessings from the goddess of love, Venus herself, which may bring happiness to your relationship. So they said that all right. So 2023 observes a favorable year for your finances and money-related matters. This is still Libra. To have gains, Saturn might require you to have your plans prepared in advance. So there you go for Libra. And let's see Scorpio. The Scorpio natives are blessed with the inborn potential to fight back with challenges. Scorpio says that the start of the year might be prosperous. Fortune in 2023 may expect some good rewards from your old investments because of the blessing from Jupiter. However, it foresees that because of unsupportive Rahu and Ketu, you may have to deal with complications. There's prediction that things will probably start to look good by the mid of February. It's advised you to make purchases or sell out property around February and requires you to avoid making unnecessary expenses in the middle of the year. If too much expense is made, then you might have to face the consequences. So I hope Scorpions are listening. Good earning opportunities and an increase in your wealth around May caused by the blessings from Jupiter. By the end of the year, you might have made major improvements in your wealth due to the easy inflow of money. It would be favorable for property deals. So there you go, Scorpio. So let's see Sagittarius. We are on to Sagittarius. It predicts that at the start of the year, things might run smoothly with your optimistic approach. It foretells that this might be a good time to get mingled with someone if you are single, which is suggested by Venus. With the advancement in the year, your social circle will be more pronounced too. You might be able to handle stressful situations at home with ease, and you might get into arguments with your native or close ones due to the effect of Ketu. However, things will go back to calm after some time. With Jupiter's blessing, you will be able to get through the difficulties in the family, and your love life will slowly have rejoiced too. So there you go, Sagittarius. Now let's talk Capricorn. So in Capricorn, for Capricorn, your attraction toward beauty and harmony may bring you close to new situations. This may make you feel more relaxed and efficient. A sense of joy and cheerfulness may fill you this year. Beauty and attraction may not just be related to one thing. It could be tangible and widespread in various spectrums. It could be related to anything. It could be about art, architecture, or even associated with a new and beautiful place which you may travel around. So Capricorn sounds very explorative. "2023, this is still Capricorn, lets you push yourself to fulfill the requirements of your family. Saturn might demand strict discipline and demands your efficient planning and balanced decisions during the ending phase of this year." So that's Capricorn. 2 more to go. So Aquarius, you may see harmony to be the key word for you. That's not a bad word. That's good. It's a nice word. You would indeed follow the principles of peace, and this is likely to help you in your endeavor. Further, at work or home or with friends or with your hairdresser, everyone you meet this year, okay, I get the point now. You may continue spreading your joy and happiness. Go Aquarius. Yeah, okay. So what else are they going to say? Going a little bit deeper. Venus might bring this is still Aquarius. Venus might bring opportunities to enjoy a romantic time as the year advances, giving your emotions a boost. All right. The period around the month of February might be an ideal time to begin a new relationship. A recent mistake might be weighing on you as per the prediction. Spending time with family is essential to address an ongoing concern. Your love life might feel tumultuous around the month of May. You might be brilliantly confident and decisive around the month of July in all matters related to your relationship and personal life. So there you go. And the beginning of this year might be good to make some important decisions about your professional life. So there you have it, Aquarius. That's not all. There's more. It goes on, but I just give a little bit of deeper insights. Last and final one, Pisces. Don't feel left out because you're the last sign. I love that. You have your own power and strengths to keep you above the rest. Timeliness situations arise where you may get agitated quickly this year. You find yourself being lethargic, a couch potato, and lacking the energy to present yourself the way you used to before. You might even miss the charismatic kind of man or woman you were back then. Wow. Okay. They're telling you, Pisces, you're going to be lazy this year. I think that's what that sums up. Perhaps you've earned it. Who knows? This year is likely to bring some good opportunities to strike some good financial deals. That's all right. Your financial status might improve gradually from the month of February, and you might need to accept new challenges as Saturn does not seem to allow the natives to get the desired success so easily. So it sounds like we pretty much across the whole zodiac that we've got to work um for what we're getting. And due to the blessings of Jupiter, your income might improve, and it might also help you to resolve some pending issues regarding your property or other assets. Saturn seems to demand careful steps in regard to financial matters. Jupiter might make you able to put in a long-term strategy for the period ahead around the month of May. So there we have. That's the Pisces, and that was more that those predictions came from India. It's always amazing to see that on the internet you can go get things from all around the world. So there you go. And there's one here that I thought was interesting. I'm just gonna this one I found. I think it's pretty cool. So I'll just read it because it's not too complicated. Like it's not too in depth. It's very nicely summarized. So they say 2023 is a year full of change and transformation, and that's something I definitely support and agree with. I see that coming. We will be wanting and willing to open our hearts and embrace our personal power. Awesome. That is fantastic. It's good for, you know, people like me that are out there to help improve, you know, self-improvement messaging and support and guidance. So that's good to hear. Even though the world will bring us challenges, and that's yeah, there we go. It's a time of scientific advancement and evolution. Artificial intelligence, AI, and so many other things that are on their way, as well as a year of advancing, listen to this, our liberties and freedoms. Wow. Um, so they then break things down into all the different like not by the signs, but like for example, solar power. The sun is a powerful force that represents our will, ego, personality, and determination. This year, the sun will connect with the expansive planet Jupiter, and that happens on April 11th in the sign of Aries, making it a time full of joy, miracles, and positive vibes. Since the sun and the sign Aries focus heavily on the self, this is a moment to put yourself out there and to bring in abundance, wealth, and amazingness. So listen to that. That's pretty cool. The moon in astrology is the planet that dictates our emotions, right? Hopefully, many of us, maybe not everybody knew that, but I knew that because the sun, the moon is what we just had a full moon, and the moon, um, helps with the waves and water, ties in with the water in our bodies. So it all. Remember, I said we're all one. So this makes sense. It is a part of ourselves that we cannot express as it represents sentimentality and memories that we hold close to our hearts. New moons in astrology mark the beginning of the lunar cycle. They are prime times for manifesting one's desires and kickstarting projects. And oh, this is a key one to note. In 2023, we'll have 12 chances to start fresh. And two of those 12 are in the sign of Aries. So, and full moons in astrology are a time of culmination, endings, and release. They fall at the end of the lunar cycle and illuminate our souls with knowledge. And there are 13 full moons in 2023. And we have the concept of a blue moon, which is a rare occurrence where there are two full moons in a month in Pisces. That's occurring in August. So in August, we have two full moons. Now that's a different situation, eh? So yeah, so there you get that. One more thing I'm gonna look at. I'm curious about that. I'm gonna look at to talk about our new year. Now what? We have the Chinese New Year coming up, and I believe um, one sec. We have the year of the rabbit, and that happens. Oh, I was close. January 22nd. I was definitely close there. January 22nd is the Chinese New Year, and it goes till February 9th of 24. And it's the year of the rabbit, the water rabbit. So let's see what they say about that, because that's I personally myself I follow the like I every year I track the Chinese sign, animal sign, um and I read up on what it's supposed to do and all that sort of stuff. Just something I've been doing since I was a teenager, really, I believe. But it's that far back. So I find it very, very interesting. And I find it very pretty accurate. Um, so the sign of the rabbit is a symbol of longevity, peace, and prosperity in Chinese culture. So 2023 is predicted to be a year of hope. How interesting is that? So let me tell you, you're a rabbit, just so that. Did you like how I? Let me. You're a rabbit. That didn't come out quite. Well, after I said it, I was like, "Oh, people could be offended." What in the world? I meant it with all just meaning the sign. So, but I said we'd have fun with that. So that's what we're doing. So if you're a rabbit, meaning I'll give you the years so that you'll know if you were born in the year of a rabbit. So, um, if you're born in 1927, that would make you a senior. 1927, 1939, 1951, 1963, 1975, 1987, 1999, oh, 2011, and 2023. So if you're born anyone born, any new babies that came in the last 6 days, they're all rabbits. So it's a year of hope, which makes sense with the other prediction when they say that we would all, kind of come into a new way of thinking, and some of the softer side of things will be important for us. So that's great. and this is so funny. After I was apologizing because I said if you're a rabbit, they said people born in a year of the rabbit are called rabbits. So I didn't need to apologize. But anyway. But here, they're believed to be vigilant, witty, I love it, quick minded, and ingenious. So there you go. Clap if you were in any of those years I called out. Now, they're compatible with goats, dogs, and pigs in the Chinese animals. So there you go. It's a year of hope. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And not all of those rabbit years are water rabbits, by the way, just so you know, just letting you know. So, for example, anyone born in this year, 2023, are a water rabbit. If you were born in 2011, however, you're a gold rabbit. If you're born in 1999, you're an earth rabbit. 1987 would be a fire rabbit. 1975 would be a wood rabbit. 1963 was when the water rabbit was the last water rabbit, which is interesting. Wow, 1963. So there's a long time between them, eh? And then it repeats 1951 gold rabbit and 1939 earth rabbit, which means 1927 was a fire rabbit. So there you go. You get to see um right? You get to see what which one you were depending on the year you were born. And rabbits are predicted to be gentle. We know that. They're so cute. Quiet, elegant, and alert, as well as quick, skillful, kind, patient, and very responsible. They're sometimes reluctant to reveal their minds to others and have a tendency to escape reality, but always faithful to those around them. Ha! Female rabbits have a pure heart. Male rabbits um, treating people politely with a gentle smile that makes people feel that they are credible and sincere. And when encountering tough difficulties, they are never discouraged, but instead remain persistent in their endeavors to find solutions. This means they eventually achieve inviolable success. There you go. So there we go. That is for the Chinese New Year. We got a chance. So in this stream, I asked, it's a new year. Now what? So with when you look into these sort of things, and as I said, this is stuff you have fun with. This is astrology. You just have fun with it. Depending on your sign when you were born, you can look to the traditional astrology or look to the Chinese zodiac to just kind of get a sense. But it also the bigger aim is that you put something concrete for you to achieve or aspire to in this year to make the year really count for you, and that you're striving to something and you're looking for growth first with yourself and overflow that to support others. Because if you're someone that's going and pulling from an empty cup, you're not helping you, and you're really not helping anybody long term, from the perspective that you are driving yourself to health situations potentially, and you don't want that. You really want to be here for as long as possible, and you want to maximize your days and your time here to to show that you were here, to leave a sense of accomplishment here, in this body and in this form that we are right now. So, yeah, so 2023 is here. There's nothing more I can say. 2023 is here. And what I liked was one of the horoscopes is that it was a time of hope. And, so we have a lot to do with that hope. When we set ourselves right and aligned and congruent and consistent and with the right mindset, the right words, the right approach to ourselves and others, we are lifting hope. We are, we're doing our own self correction, and we're coming into that oneness that all of us are, in a way that drives change in very positive ways. So we really need to think about why we're here and what are we trying to get out of the life that we're living. And as I said, it's a journey, it's a process, and we got to pay homage to that and really try to make that journey as empowering for ourselves and others as we possibly can, because we all came into this world for a reason, and we were born perfect for that reason. The only thing we have to do is spend our lifetime figuring out and really thriving towards that reason we were here and landing on it. And it's within us. We've got to tap in within to really get a sense for why we're here and start doing the doing that guides us that way. So there's just so much I can say about that. But I want you guys, as you listen to me, to really think um, about, as the way I summarize it is about choosing you and recognizing that when you are fulsome, when you are fulfilled, when you are contented, when you are doing all the things that, including the rest, including the regeneration, including, um, you know, the growth of yourself, you are filling this cup and these baskets of different things. You manifest the things that you want and need, and it's really about focusing on what you want, what you need, setting it, putting behind that want and need really good intentions, and then doing the doing that is needed to bring all those things together and manifest them. It's hard, and the intention is really, really important. We can't just want something just to want it, right? You can't say, well, I just want, we do that where people say, oh, I want millions of dollars. Well, okay, depending on where you are right now in your life, how are you going to make that a reality, right? It's just like one of the examples I think is when people say that. I think the easiest way to understand what I'm saying is when you say, I want to win the lottery, but you don't buy lotto tickets or you don't play. Like, right? I want to win big at a casino, but you never visit casinos. It's that kind of concept, right? Um, I want to be a leading world surfer, but you don't surf, um, or you don't surf globally. You only surf one particular area. Then more than likely that isn't going to manifest. So it's got to have the right intentions, and with that, the right actions. So that's how you think. So start to think about that for yourself as it relates to this year and getting through this year. And as I'll repeat what I said earlier for the new ones that jumped on, is when you start to really set what those things are you want for 2023. Yes, you have the big, goal, overall goal for the year, but break it down into practical steps and logistics and goals and actions on a monthly to quarterly to monthly to semi-annual to monthly to third quarter to monthly to fourth quarter. Like, set it into practical steps that you can achieve. So, you know, um, I want my word for the year is impact, impact, impact. I keep saying it 3 times: impact, impact, impact. And I mean positive impact, because impact can be positive or it can be negative. I don't want negative impact. I want positive impact with those I touch, who listen to me, all you wonderful people that are supporting me, listening to me. I want to impact your lives positively. And I want, and in order to do that, I've got to set goal. So, my first quarter goal is to be out there in a bigger way. I already podcast. I stream. Semi weekly. And what more could I be doing? I'm offering courses. I've got, through my institute, up leveling my capabilities to institutional level to support that. There's things I am doing, and I put time frames because I make the goals smart. That's the other thing I didn't talk about. Make your goals smart. Don't just say I want to, I want to be out there in a big way. I want to be on a stage by, at least one stage by March of 2023, as an example. I'm not saying that, but as an example, but it's a goal that is smartly done, it's realistic, it's time boxed, and it feeds the bigger goal of impact. So it's all of those. You've got to start working it that way. Now, what does that mean? Let's say that's a goal I have. Then what do I have to do in for January? I've got to find a stage, right? Or start pushing myself out there to get on a stage. And then I have the logistics of what's involved. What will I be speaking about? What will I, what is going to be, how it will all the logistics come together? Is it virtual? Is it in person? There's all these things leading up to that March time frame to say, am I on stage? I might have contracts have to be reviewed or signed or whatever. Like all these things that are logistically part of that. It isn't just I'm going to be, I want to be on a stage and I don't do anything. I sit here till March thinking that, it's just going to happen. No, I have to do the doing that drives that goal. So when you start to think of all these things and what you want for yourself, the question, and why I say now what? I pose that now what? Because it puts us into a mindset to resolve, to solution, to look at becoming actionable and accountable and all of that. And that's why I say now what? Because anytime you say now what, you're instantly going, okay, yeah, how do I, what is my next steps, right? You kind of ask yourself that. And so it puts you into the right frame of mind to do something about it. And what will be that something? So always do that to drive what you need. And there's some, concrete steps that I've shown and examples I've used that starts to help you on how you get where you need to go. And and think, what am I doing? Am I just sitting here saying that but not really doing it? Or am I procrastinating? There's another one, right? Am I procrastinating my taking action? Because if you do, um and you keep doing that, the next thing will be in May and you'll be still saying it and not have achieved it. An early example I use is writing a book, because as an author, I know about writing a book and what it takes. And if you're saying you want to write a book, but you aren't actually taking steps to make that a reality, then you'll be saying that this year and next year, or maybe I've been saying it last year or the year before, and still this year I haven't written a book or a chapter or anything. It requires discipline, it requires commitment, but more so, and it requires steps. No matter, they could be baby steps to get there to write a book. What are you going to write about? What will be the subject? What will be the possible title? What what will be contained in the book? What, the chapters, what else would be about the book? What do you have to think about to start to bring that book together? So these are all the things and the way we need to think about what we are aspiring to in order to get there. So think about all of that as we start to really kick into 2023. And you will recall that in 2022, as I was pushing for this type of prep from my audience, one of the things I said, the reason I'm pushing it so hard, and for me, I pushed it hard in 2022 with my messaging, my podcast, everything, to say, start doing it now so you can have the momentum you need when 2023 hits to be on the ground running. If you didn't do that and you're now in 2023, then I reaffirm that we have 365 days in the year, and we are at now 359. This is day 6. By tomorrow, we have 359 days left in the year. And I had called out my thing of anti-waste. I have an anti-waste program. Jen has her own anti-waste program. I will not waste a day. I will not waste my minutes, because we started the year with 525,600 minutes. I will not waste time. I will not waste energy. I will not waste money. I will not waste, my voice. I will not I have an anti-waste program. Consider that for yourself. If you've never heard it, you're hearing it from Jen. Have an anti-waste program. And we need to move forward from that perspective with our lives and take it really seriously, because our time is ebbing away. I don't care if you're 25. I don't care if someone that would turn 28 said to me, "Oh my gosh, I'm 28 and I don't feel like I've done anything." Right? So I don't care what your age is, time is ebbing away. So maximize your time. Get an anti-waste program for yourself. We spend enough time in anti-waste programs for all the material consumerism things we get, right? I can show you, I have a water bottle here that will be part of the recycling program I'm in, and we have our compost program and all these things, right? Do it for yourself. Do the anti-waste program for yourself. Don't waste a moment, right? And still have fun doing it, because you're doing what you love. And you can always have fun if you're doing what you love. I had fun. My fun is about to end, and I had fun tonight. But take it seriously. We still have another about 15. Take it seriously. And really make 2023, especially now that we've heard the prediction that it will be a year of hope. The hope is for each one of us. So I hope for you, and you hope for me, right? And somebody else hopes for somebody else or for you, and so on and forth. And you see how the interconnectedness is. You see how we're all connected. We're all, it's a year of hope. And I love that. That was such a beautiful thing to see. And it was nice to see that. I didn't see it before because I had done that impromptu, but it just gives a more a pleasantness. And I'm excited for the year, but I'm always excited for New Year's because of the whole opportunity thing and the whole ability to reset and restart, as even we heard in the thing. It is really truly a year of recloaking or decloaking, or changing, and an opportunity for change. And I love change, um and the concept of change and what it can bring for you and the opportunities it can produce. So it really is a smile and feel good moment. Now stretch it out for the whole 359 days that are left. Stretch it out and maximize it, right? Apply anti-waste mindsets to it, and make 2023 kick ass for you, pretty much, right? Like, just make it work for you and the best that you can do. And we know it's life, so we might get some knocks, hits there and there, but just persevere, persevere. Don't let anybody distract you from your objective and your goal. Don't. Stay, stay resilient. Stay resilient on what you want for yourself. And just want to think, I have my podcast, please, a Rays of Living, listen in. I'd appreciate it if you support me, listen in. And if you do and you love it, then please share, spread the love. It's the only way creators like us and what we do, it's the only way that we grow is with your support and all of that. So I appreciate all of you who listened and who have continue to support me. But please, even on the stream, please share, like, a comment, If you liked what you heard, this is just so you know, this is after this stream, my next set of streams will not be talking about, 2023 or the year or planning or goal. I've been doing that now leading up, and I did want that to start and kickstart. We'll get into much more different topics going forward, but I wanted to really lay some seeds, plant some seeds, or water the seeds that were already planted to motivate you to really take your life and you seriously, choose you, build you, grow you, develop you, so you are rich and fertile and overflowing to do the same for others in whatever mission you are here to accomplish and do, because we were born with a mission. And we just have to go through the work, and it's not easy work, go through the work of figuring out what that is. And we all, so that we can be solid and move forward in that way and really get on that path of service to ourselves and others. So think of 2023 as a new opportunity to do that. And I will be back here in 2 weeks. So not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. And go from there. A new podcast will drop on Monday, Tuesday of next week. So please, Arrays of Living is the podcast. So Arrays, ARRAYS of Living is the podcast. It's on all major platforms. Please look it up, try it. If you love it, please share and download, subscribe, do all the things that help to support. And we go from there. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me, for continuing to listen and join in. Shout out to Tommy for joining in, sharing, and to others who have been there. Stacey, I'm sorry that your mic didn't work. I was looking forward to speaking with you, but maybe you'll jump on another one once we once I come back on. And follow me. If you aren't following me, follow me on the different platforms. On all of them. Facebook, I consider LinkedIn my main platform, but I'm on Facebook. And I do a show called Get Awesome, and there's a group called Get Awesome on Facebook. You can join up, and you'll get those programs as well. And they air also on LinkedIn and Twitch and all of them. So it's all about, my brand is all about supporting you to find your magnificence and really live in your magnificence. Not even just find it. You might have already found it, but are you maximizing and living in it in a more exponential way? So it's all about exponential and growth. And I want to work with people who want to grow, who really want to, leave. I'm going to use it's going to sound a bit cliche. I don't want it to, but who want to leave a legacy? Who wants to, just love their life, live their life with such gumption? That's the word I always use, with such gumption that if they were to leave, they have left something that people can hang on to and say, I was here and everything. During, we lost some people during COVID, and I'm talking personally, that I knew and interacted with. And, I was so blessed for that interaction, because I think of them on a regular basis. And that to me is testimony that they were here and they stood for something and they touched somebody, even if it was just me. So please, life is precious. Life is a journey. Let's maximize that journey. Let's really, self love, self care, and stop with the limiting beliefs and the limiting decisions, and stop the self sabotage. And if you don't know how to do that, reach out to me. We have courses with our Divine Tastical Living Institute. I have a course about self sabotage and self hypnosis, and we'll be adding more courses. I have a membership um, program coming up, kickstarting in February. I will send out some information about that to, um, for people to sign on. It's like a new age MBA program. It really is. It is nurturing you in all sorts of things, from leadership, but from a new perspective, from a new, social enterprise perspective, from a personal a wholesome perspective, not fragmented perspective. So look out for all these things coming your way in 2023 from Jen Drakes. And it is just, it's, the pivot I made, what now, going on 3 years. April will kick into my, let me make sure I say this right. Yeah. So April, sorry, I had to make sure. April closes off my 3rd year since I did this pivot officially. But I had entered into podcasting and all of these things in a much bigger way. And this year is about going even bigger than I'm doing right now. And I'll be kicking into my yeah. So wow, what a journey. What a journey. It's been amazing, and you can do it. If you have a dream around this sort of thing, I'm here to tell you, you can do it. Don't sell yourself short. My brand is all about your worth. I do what I do because I believe you are worth more. That's why I do what I do. And I always say we were all born with at least one gift, and we are responsible to leverage those gifts and embrace them and transcend them and just serve them up to others so that they can, be the best they can be. And that's what I'm all about, encouraging you to be the best that you can be. And don't, buy into the self-doubts, don't buy into the negativity. Free your space from negative messages. Free your space from, from all the bombardments and the things that we hear about, and all of that. Like, free yourself from those things so that you can thrive for contentment, um, and whatever your version of achievements equates to, that would be success. Whatever that may be, you thrive for it. You do what you need to do to really maximize your time on this earth, and in your human experience, in living in this body, and in the, in the frame and the human body that you are. How can you maximize that and leave an impression? And we've watched so many people leave positive impressions. So you I don't know, what else. I'm just endeared by, I just love life, and I think life needs to be lived fully, and we've got to figure out how we do that. Each of us has a responsibility to figure out what is living a full life for me and for you. And it's really like spotlighting on you. It's really about creating your spotlight, walking around with your own personal spotlight, because you've stepped into the light of your potential. Think of that. Step into the light of your potential. Think about that. Wow. Right? That's what we all need to do. How do you do that? And we have that we have we owe it to ourselves to do it. We don't deserve anything. We've got to do the doing. We cannot get to that spot, that potential without doing the doing. But to know that we have that potential, I call my divinity within my God spark, I call it a God spark. That's within me, and I tie into that and I let it guide me. I no longer try to be the one pushing and driving and doing all of that. I really tap inwardly and take the message in and push it um, outward through action and guidance. So my gift is to that I step into and spotlight myself with is the ability to connect with you and encourage you and support you and let you know you have a cheerleader here that believes in you. If you don't feel you have that support around you, there's one here. So step in and listen to me and support me if that's what's missing from your life, right? And my three words I'll close on is lead with love. And every day I get up, I have the intention to lead with love. And I ask myself, what level of impact can I deliver today? What level of impact can I deliver? So if you step into those sort of things, you can be so powerful. And on that note, I am going to thank everybody and wish everybody an amazing remainder of the night and a remainder of the weekend, wherever you are, and just stay blessed. And a shout out of love from me to you until the next time we connect, either by you listening to my podcast or being part of my stream. So thank you so much. Stay blessed. Happy New Year with all the best wishes for healthy, happy, wealthy, and abundantly in 2023. Good night, everyone. Good night.